So what's good, everybody? It is Sunday, November 7th. This is Early Edge Live. Over the course of the next 60 minutes, we will count down and break down every single game on the slate today, the 1 o'clock games, the 4 o'clock games. We're going to have a ton of fun. If you're brand new to the Early Edge, welcome. Everybody is welcome here. We want you to be active in the chat. We also want you to be eligible to win a year-long membership to SportsLine. As many of you who are members already know, there is no value on this SportsLine membership because you get all the analysis, all the cappers, all the simulations, all right? You get it all, but you got to be a member of SportsLine. Also, you got to follow us on Twitter and leave your Twitter handle in the chat so we can select you, and you can be eligible for a year-long membership throughout the hour. We'll do 2 for $200. We'll do 4 for $400. We will do 6 for $600 if we can get to that many over the course of the next 45 to 60 minutes. You already kind of got a little brief glimpse of my crew today, and I bring the heavy hitters in. I love who I have today. Right below me, he is the man. DFS, sides, totals, donkey parlays. He does it all. We like to call him M-Squared. Good morning, Mikey. Or afternoon.
Still morning where I am, but afternoon for some of them. Yeah, we'll call it both. Feeling good. I love this slate, honestly. Obviously, all my plays are from Tuesday, but really, really fun slate. I think that there's a few games we don't care about, but the ones that we do, I think there's going to be some really good football games today.
If there's one thing that I've learned from you working with you the last year is that it's not always about the ugly slate. We look at them as opportunities sometimes. You just got to dig a little bit deeper. Speaking of digging, right next to the man, also live from Nashville, Tennessee, AB, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Coach. Yeah, I love that, we do this show, and I'm about 4 minutes away from M-Squared right now and about 5 minutes from Noah. So I like that we're all seemingly here, but, yeah, I could literally walk to M-Squared right now.
All of a sudden you can mention Noah on the show, but when he needs to be thanked for being the godfather of SportsLine, we just forget about him. I see how you do that. All right. I see how you do that. Noah, you're my guy. You're my guy. And also the man who gets into the lab so deep and so late, sometimes he even falls asleep on the shows. But that's how much work he puts in. Prop stars, Alex. Hello, sir.
True story. What's up, Coach? Mikey, AB, how you guys doing? I'm excited. I'm with Mike. I love this slate as well. I think there's a lot of great opportunities, as we like to say. And, yeah, my mom is also looking forward to the donkey parlay of the day, Mike, so I hope you've got a good one for her.
We will. He'll also have one tonight in our live evening show, 7:20 Eastern time, counting down to Sunday Night Football. Pretty good one tonight. Titans and the Rams. We'll have a lot to talk about there as well. If we're in a game and you have a prop from a game that you are interested in, please put it into the chat. Leave your Twitter handle as well. We'll try to get to as many props as we possibly can as we're going through each and every show. So, guys, if you are ready, let's dive right in. And, AB, you're going to start our first one because we have the Browns and the Bengals. The total now has gone down to 2. The side has gone down to 2. The total is 47.5. And I know you have a play, AB. Here's where we stand as a show. Okay, R.J. White is already on the Bengals. Uncle Dave is on Jarvis Landry, over 4.5 receptions. And, Alan, I'm going to go with your pick. And then, Alex, I'm going to come to you. Also, AB, I want you to tell the stat you had about the Browns and the Bengals and why this leans into your pick, please. Floor is yours.
Yes, sir. So we're on the Bengals minus 2.5. Like you said, it's gone down to 2. I love the Bengals in this spot. Look, they're 2-0 straight up and 2-0 against the spread following a loss. Joe Burrow is 7-1 against the spread following a loss in his NFL career already. But the key stat is on the Browns side. All right. Their last 9 regular season games against AFC North division opponents, they are 0-9 against the spread, and Baker Mayfield has lost 3 straight starts. So we know all the situation going on with Odell Beckham in the locker room. Half want him to stay, half didn't want him to stay. We didn't know what's going on with that. I'm all over the Bengals today.
Well, I love that. And whenever you have R.J. White to back you up, you know you're in a good spot. Now, Alex, let me come to you because I know you have a prop in this game that correlates with Uncle Dave's prop on Jarvis Landry over 4.5 catches. What is yours, sir?
I do indeed, Coach, and that is Jarvis Landry over 48.5 receiving yards. I do have to deliver some bad news, however. He has his current receiving line is up to 60.5, so that is quite a significant leap from 48.5. So, yeah, love the prop. Love the spot. This is why you have to tune in to our prop show on Friday, 2 p.m. Eastern, 11 a.m. Pacific, because he has moved from 48.5 to 60.5, where unfortunately, as much as I love Landry, I do not think it's playable at 60.5.
All right. We tell people all the time that when we do the shows, you can watch them on demand if you so choose. But especially for props, especially for size, my guys move the market. And this is a perfect example. We had it at 48. A lot of our viewers got it at 48 on Friday, and now it's gone up 12 yards. Chat question, Mikey, let me come to you. Jamar Chase, longest reception over 26.5 today for the Bengals.
You can lean towards the over, but generally speaking, I'm off of Jamar Chase in this one. I actually lean towards the Browns in the game, believe it or not. This is an interesting spot for them. The reason I wanted to chime in, though, this is the biggest, most lopsided game of the season in the NFL in terms of the betting market. The FanDuel Sportsbook earlier this morning was reporting 99% of the money coming in on the Bengals.
What?
99% of the money coming in on the Bengals. Absolutely everyone is on Cincinnati in this game. Sportsbooks will be needing the Cleveland Browns in a big way today. But I lean that way. I don't have enough edge to actually bet it, but I don't have an edge on betting Cincinnati at -2 or -2.5.
Okay.
It's right exactly where I make it. If you guys watch the Tuesday show where I put my numbers up there. But just letting you know, it is a massive, massive lopsided spot. It is easily the biggest lopsided game of the season so far.
And that is one of the added bonuses for those of you who did not watch the Tuesday mega preview that we do. Mikey actually lets us behind the curtain and shows us his model, how he puts his numbers together. We only do it on that Tuesday show at 5 p.m. Eastern time for the NFL. All right, by the way, a couple people in the chat. In Vegas yesterday, they got Alex, your play on Landry around 50, 51. So there has been numbers out there, but right now they've shot up today, and we know why. It's all because of you. All right, so those are our 4 plays officially from the Browns and the Bengals. Let's move on. Game number 2. We're going to go Broncos and the Cowboys. Let's continue to pound that like button as well. Now, the Cowboys laying 10, the total 49.5. We found out this morning, guys, and Mikey, you're going to start this discussion, that Drew Lock, because of the virus protocols, he's out today. So there is really no backup to speak of for the Broncos if Teddy Bridgewater goes down yet again. RJ White was on the Cowboys on Tuesday's show, -7.5. That number is long gone. Mikey, talk to me.
Yeah, that number is long gone. I make them -9.9. I have the total sitting at 45. Or no, excuse me. Where's my total on that one? 49.9. That makes way more sense. I don't think that there's any way to go bet this game on game day. If you want to include them in teasers, I think it's okay if you want to tease that number down a little bit, but you still need a full touchdown win for the Cowboys here. I just don't know, how healthy truly is Dak. That's still going to be a question in this game. I think they're going to lean heavily on Ezekiel Elliott and the backs. Not insignificant that Blake Jarwin is out for them, so he's only got one of the 2 tight ends to lean on. If I had to play it, I would probably take the Broncos with the 10 points, but I don't have to play it, and I'm not going to. But if I had to, that's the slight lean.
Okay, very good. Go ahead, AB.
Yeah, I just wanted to say a quick nugget here in regards to Dak Prescott. 31% of his passes this season have gone to the right side of the field. And you're looking at a guy coming off an injury. I wouldn't be surprised if early he starts to target that side just to get a little bit of confidence built up. So anybody that is live playing props, etc., or if you just have an understanding of really how their wide receivers line up in regards to left or right sides, yeah, pay attention to that because he goes to the right a lot.
Okay, very good. Alex, what did you have?
I'd be remiss if I didn't mention I have a prop from this game that I gave out on Twitter that I like a lot, and the number is still available. That is Javonte Williams over 12.5 yards for his longest rush. Just to touch on the prop really quickly, Javonte Williams leads all running backs with at least 50 attempts and missed tackles. Force per attempt, 36%. He ranks 10th in explosive run rate, 10 yards or more at 14%, and 7th in yards after contact per attempt, 3.4. He ranks 3rd in breakaway percentage. He has a 35.5% explosive run rate percentage, which ranks 2nd only to Jonathan Taylor of running backs that qualify. He's eclipsed this prop in 6 of 8 games. That's a 75% hit rate. He had a 12-yard rush in 7 of 8 games. The only game he didn't was Denver's loss to the Browns, where he only received for rushing attempts. Moral of the story, Javonte Williams is one of the most explosive runners in the league. He is just like the epitome of like a boomer bust guy. He just breaks off big play after big play after big play every game. If he gets 10 attempts or around 10 attempts, he's going to have a 13-yard plus carry. So I absolutely love this prop. Javonte Williams over 12.5 rushing yards for his longest rush.
And our classic segment that my capper is a lot better than your capper is brought to you by Xbox and Call of Duty. That's just next level kind of stuff. Mikey, quick chat question. Amari Cooper over 61.5 receiving yards in this game. Talk to me.
I don't like it. I think it's efficient where it's at. The issue for me with it is the game script screams hand the ball off to Zeke and Pollard and run the football. I don't think that they're going to need to go to Amari too much in this game. So he can get there on one play. Like, it's the classic case of one where I'm not playing the under on it by any means, but I don't think that there's the edge required to play the over. Like, he can easily go over this number on 1 to 2 plays. I just don't see the game script needing them to do that. So I think it's going to be a heavy, heavy dose of the running backs in this game for Dallas.
I could not agree more. The next few weeks is really going to be about survive and advance with Dak not being healthy at all. All right, moving on. AB, you're going to start. No, excuse me, Alex, you're going to start this discussion. We're going to go to New Orleans. We're going to go to the Saints, laying the 7. We know that Trevor Siemian is going to be the starting quarterback for the Saints. The total of 42.5. The Falcons, they have been an unmitigated disaster. However, they are 3-4, Alex, against the spread. Where we stand on this game, the Maestro, he's on the Falcons plus the 7 today. Don't know how I feel about that one. But, Alex, how do you feel about this game in general? I know you don't have an official play on it, but is this a game because of the uncertainty with the Saints that you kind of stay away from props, or is there something here you like?
Yeah, this is a really interesting game. I've looked very closely at it. Obviously on New Orleans side, we haven't exactly seen a large sample size of Trevor Siemian as the starting quarterback. We also don't know how much Taysom Hill is going to mix in. He's being paid a lot of money to potentially sit on the bench. So, I expect him to be involved in the game plan. But, I think New Orleans has a pretty simple offensive and defensive philosophy, that is to run the ball and then stop the run. They are both very good at both of those things. The props I'm looking at correlate to that. So I'm looking at Mark Ingram. I think he provides some value as an ancillary player in that offense. Atlanta ranks in the bottom 5 in rushing DVOA, so they give up a lot of rushing yards. They're not a good defense whatsoever. So, I can see Ingram being involved in this game plan. I think his yards at 28.5 or 29.5 provide some sneaky value there. I do expect him to have 6 to 8 attempts. If we look last week, he had 8 touches versus Tampa Bay, who is arguably the best rush defense in the league, and he popped off for 50 yards, and that was his first game back with the Saints. We know he has a ton of familiarity with Sean Payton's offense. So, I think Mark Ingram is going to just pick up where he left off and mix in really nicely with Kamara, who they had been giving massive workloads to. I expect Ingram to flirt with 6 to 9 carries today. I like his yards over 28 or 29.5. And then on the other side, I expect the Saints to, frankly, shut down Cordero Patterson and Mike Davis. So I'm looking at both of those props. I think Cordero Patterson is going to be used more as a receiver today. So I like the under on his rushing prop. And I'm also looking at the under on Mike Davis's rushing prop.
You literally just answered 6 different chat questions, all in that explanation right there. The picks, the Cordero Patterson, listen to the information. It's not just about the picks. Listen to the information. Now, my man Calvin Davis says, win or lose, I love watching and riding with y'all picks. You're the GOATs. I agree. My guys are the best, too. I just like patting them on the back a little bit. Calvin, thank you very much. And I see all of you so active right now. Maiden, Raphael, Ned. Who else is there? Gray, Alex, George, Fire, Anthony, Martin, Jake. All of you very, very active this morning. Thank you for that. Now, let's go back. Let's go back to Miami. Let's go back to South Florida. And, Mikey, I'm going to come back to you on this one. We got several plays. Here's where we stand. Texans, Dolphins. -4.5 Miami. We found out this morning, I was watching ESPN, Adam Schefter reported it, that Tua is out with a small broken bone in his hand. And they just announced that this morning. So the total sitting at 45 as well. R.J. White was on the Texans when it was 7. Uncle Dave is on Myles Gaskin over 12.5 rushing attempts. Larry gave this out this morning. We're not that excited about it now. I'll just be candid. If you haven't played it, I would probably stay away because of the Tua news. Jalen Waddle over 61.5 receiving yards, but wanted to give it out because he gave it out on the morning show. Alex, let me have you start the discussion because I know you have an official play in this game. What do you like in the Texans and Dolphins?
I do. That is Brandon Cooks over 4.5 receptions. I believe this line is still available too. Just to touch on the play, Cooks has had at least 5 catches in 7 of 8 games this season. He's averaging 6.3 receptions per game on 8.75 targets per game. He also gets Tyrod Taylor back at quarterback, and Tyrod's 2 starts. Cooks had 14 catches. I was very encouraged by their rapport, their connection. I'm shocked this number actually did not open at 5.5. The Dolphins have given up the 4th most receiving yards and the 5th most receptions to opposing wide receivers. There is also no depth on the Texans. Receiving group. Chris Conley, Nico Collins, Danny Amendola, Jordan Akins. These guys are like tertiary players at best. None of them have had more than 6 targets in a game. I expect Brandon Cooks to continue to be an absolute target hog. The Dolphins ranked 26th in pass DVOA. Cooks is really the only viable receiving target on this Texans offense. He is going to get peppered with targets. I think this is a great spot for him over 4.5 receptions.
Oh, I love that spot too. AB, what do you got, pal?
Yep. So I'm going to make this an official play here, adding this right now. And Jeweler, if you could help me out on that. Look, Miami, they have a lot of problems all over the field. What they don't have a problem with is getting pressure on the quarterback. They're second best in the NFL, around 31%, surprisingly. So I'm going to take Tyrod Taylor over half an interception today at plus 120 because I think Miami's defense gets after him early, gets after him often, and he's going to put some balls wildly in the air. So give me that interception prop over half an interception, plus 120.
All right, so that's an official play from AB. I like that a lot. Could be a little bit of rust, coupled with a really, really active defense that knows they have to play well to have any shot of beating the Texans later today. I had another one. Oh, okay, Alex, real quick. So some people have 5.5 for Cooks at plus 115. Would you play it there?
See, to me, the play just that's just a massive leap when we're talking receptions. So yeah, while the juice is good, I wouldn't play it there. It just becomes an efficient line at that point. It just doesn't offer the same value it does at 4.5. If you wanted to make it a sprinkle or like a half unit play, I don't think that's the worst thing ever. But yeah, I'm not looking at it 5.5. It just doesn't carry the same value.
But definitely not a double sprinkle. We have to bring Uncle Dave into the show, not a double sprinkle. Yeah, or a shovel. That's exactly right. Jameson says, Coach, what do we got to do for a free shirt? Well, we're working on that. Trust me when I tell you. Right now, it's very, very difficult to get merchandise, but we are working on it, and trust me, we're going to start giving that more and more and more on the show. So just be very, very patient. However, I have my 2 winners so far. We've got well over 700 people watching live. It's a big number right now. Pound that like button for me. Take the comments down, hit the like button, put it back up so we can change some lives. So 2 newest members of SportsLine at Ilik Marty, and at Joe D721. The jeweler will reach out to you on social media, give you all the details, and tell you how you will have access to SportsLine for the next 12 months free of charge on us. All right, let's get up to 400 so we can give away 4 more memberships courtesy of the bosses. All right, Mikey, let me come back to you. No. Actually, I'm going to have AB to this one, and you're going to start the next one because, AB, you have an official play on this from the morning show. Raiders laying 3 at the Giants, total 46.5. And we know the last month has been so emotional for so many different reasons for the Raiders, but you still like them today. Tell me why, AB.
Yeah, usually we would fade a team from the West Coast going all the way to the East Coast and playing an early game, but I think in the Raiders situation, it actually helps. They've been getting peppered with questions that have nothing to do with football and everything to do with the Henry Ruggs situation and et cetera from there. So I think that them getting on the field and playing football is going to be a welcome thing, because they can take their eyes off of it. Not to mention, Rich Bisaccia, since he took over, he's 2-0 against the spread, 2-0 straight up, and he's won both games by double digits. Daniel Jones, 5-11 against the spread in his career at home. I think that this is a nice play for Las Vegas because, quite frankly, all they want to do is play some football at this point.
That's it. Alex, I know you got an official play. What do you like in this game?
Yeah, so I have 2 plays from this game. One of them is a SportsLine special that I have not given out yet. I will start with that one.
Wait. Before you do that, you know that the people are watching. So I'm telling you, grab your paper, grab your pencil. This is an official play. You've never given this out before, correct?
I have not given this out. This is saved it for frankly, it just came out like 20 minutes before we went on air, so it didn't have even an opportunity to give it out, but I was intending to save it for this show. So yeah, get ready for it.
Let's
good?
Go.
Okay.
Let's go.
So
We're good.
The play is Giants wide receiver Kenny Golladay over 35.5 receiving yards. It was announced that he would be active today in this game. Sterling Shepard will be inactive, leaving Kenny Golladay and Kadarius Toney as the only 2 starting or healthy wide receivers pretty much on the Giants side. There's not like a lot I can tell you because I literally just saw this line moments before we came on air. But yeah, I've been encouraged by Golladay. Him and Daniel Jones have shown a decent connection. This number is just frankly 10 yards too low, in my opinion, and just provides a lot of value at a number that low. He's expected to play close to a full complement of snaps. The Raiders defense is good, but I expect the Giants to be trailing in this game. Daniel Jones has shown a propensity to throw the ball a lot. They do not have a really good running game with Devontae Booker behind center. So yeah, I like Kenny Golladay over 35.5 yards. I think that came in 10 yards too low. The other play I have from this game is Hunter Renfrow over 55.5 receiving yards. I believe this has moved up into the 60s now, I want to say. I stay off of it over 60. Just to touch on it really quickly, with the loss of Henry Ruggs, I expect Hunter Renfrow's role to expand and to grow even further. He has only run 206 routes on the season despite appearing in every single game. So Renfrow has been exceptional, but he's done so as a part-time player, which is just crazy to me. He's going to be an every down player for the most part now. He's earned the trust of Derek Carr. They have an amazing rapport. When he needs a big completion, that is who he looks to. Renfrow is just an exceptional route runner. He finds all the soft spots in his own defense. To me, he's just a true breakout player. He's phenomenal. I love Hunter Renfrow. I also think this might be the last time we see him under 60 yards on the season as well.
You use the word trust, and our entire chat trusts you. They're all saying, I just smashed Golladay. I got it at minus 114. That feels like a win. It feels like a win when you can get a play in at the number we give out because they move so fast. Mikey, let me come to you. Daniel Jones, we've been on his rushing prop a couple of different times this year. In the chat, it's around 24 to 26 in that minus 110, minus 115 number. Would you like it there?
I wouldn't in this spot, but just because he's got Golladay and some of the other pieces back, that I don't think that he's going to have to run quite as much. So it's not something that I would play in this particular matchup. He's shown the upside, so if you like it, I think it's fine to keep investing in it because he has the upside clearly, but not something I would be investing in today personally.
All right. AB, we've got a odds boost at DraftKings for Ezekiel Elliott. Anytime touchdown plus 100. Your thoughts?
Yeah, they're going to put up some points, and they're going to start fast. This Denver Broncos defense will give up touchdowns in the first 2 drives, one of them. I like that one. Absolutely.
All right. Mikey, a chat question from Anthony. Teddy Bridgewater under 261.5, minus 110 for the Broncos.
I would take the under on that. I would lean that way. I think he's going to struggle a little bit here. So, there's obviously the risk if they fall behind that there's a lot of garbage time that helps. But I think Dallas is really going to do what they can to eat the clock in this game too as they get ahead. So I think that if I had to play it, I would certainly be on the under before I'd be on the over.
All right. Alex, go ahead.
I think if you're looking for Bridgewater unders, just to piggyback on what Mike said, his passing attempts came in at 37.5. That is a giant number, especially for Bridgewater. If you look at his historical splits, he has not thrown 38 pass attempts in very many football games in his career. With Dallas potentially grinding a lot of clock on the other side and potentially dominating time of possession, I think that is a great under to look at if you're looking for Bridgewater unders.
AB, I'll come to you 1 second. Real quick, Kenny Golladay over 2.5 catches. Alex at -160 to correlate with your other play. Would you like that? It's very juicy.
Yeah, it's a little juicy. I think you get more value with the yards. If he's getting 3 catches, he's very likely to eclipse 35.5 receiving yards.
Very good. AB, what do you got?
Yeah, I'm glad that the chat brought up that question in regards to Ezekiel Elliott. One thing to understand, in the red zone and on third downs, there is no way in hell Dallas is going to be running Dak Prescott, so that is going to add extra opportunities for running backs, tight ends, etc. So, yeah, if you have plays like that on Zeke, this is the week to do it.
All right, very good, very good. Keep that stuff coming. Don't forget, put your Twitter handle into the chat so we can get a hold of you, so I can call you out, shout you out. Also, we need the number that your book has, because the number is so important to my guys, so they can tell you whether or not they like the play that you put in. Okay, let's move on to the next game. This is a very, very popular game and has a lot of differing opinions, and I'm talking about the Patriots on the road laying now 3.5 is the number at Carolina. We know that Christian McCaffrey will be back in the lineup, will not be playing as much, but he will be back. But that hamstring, it's very, very difficult to come back from a hamstring. The total at 41.5. Mikey, let me come to you and start the conversation. And then, AB, I know you have an official play on the game. Mikey, your thoughts on the Patriots kind of becoming a sexy pick for a lot of people moving forward?
Yeah, I mean, like they're not a team that I think has any shot of like going deep into the playoffs, but they're certainly a team that you don't want to play in any given week or any given day. As far as where this line should be, I made the Patriots -4.1 at one point. I wouldn't play it now. I'm a little worried about McCaffrey being back in there. I think that if he is active and ready to play in the spot, considering he was almost active once and then landed on the injured reserve again, I don't think they're playing him unless they believe that he's actually ready to play. And that's what it seems like. So because of that, he is one of the few players that actually does impact a betting spread at the position. It's a stay away or take Carolina for me at this point. But I think my favorite play in this game now is going to be the under, as it's ticked up just a little bit here. I have this one at 39.8. I think both of these teams are going to be content to, again, eat the clock, try to take care of the football. So having McCaffrey out there helps. Dumping little passes to McCaffrey also helps keeping the clock running. For me, it would be lean towards the under, lean towards Carolina at this point, but I don't have official plays on either side.
All right, you used the word under. The Maestro gave out an official play earlier today. The Patriots team total under. He bought it up to 23.5 points at -130. AB, you're on an over today. What do you like?
Yeah, I love the over in this one. Look, you look at the New England Patriots, they're averaging 33.7 points per game over its last 4. You look at the leash on Mac Jones, they are letting him let it rip. And I've seen this kid since he was at Alabama. The kid is as aggressive as it gets, and he is not going to let that thing get backwards. You look at Carolina, yes, they've been a mess betting them the last 3, 4, 5 weeks, but we really don't need a ton out of them. A 28-14 game gets us home. Also, if you're looking at Damian Harris, the running back in regards to props, understand this. He runs off left guard, left tackle, 44% of his rushes. That's the second highest rate in the NFL. And the Panthers are allowing 4.4 yards per rush to the left side, which is 13 most in the NFL. So I think that he's going to have success with that. And the Patriots, while they are scoring points, they're allowing about 27 points per game as well. So this could be what Carolina's offense needs to get a little bit of a spark. And then we have a back and forth. So I kind of like the over in this one.
Oh, love those nuggets. Go ahead, Alex.
Just to touch on what Mikey was saying regarding McCaffrey and the potential of him being on a snap count, I have a really hard time believing in a scenario where this game is tight, it's close, going into the third or fourth quarter, and he has played his amount of allotted snaps, and that guy coming off the field. So I just think if, like, for instance, the Panthers are down 3 points and say he wasn't supposed to exceed 40 to 50 snaps, and he's gotten there, he's going to play. I agree. I think he has a huge impact on this game, and I expect him to play even more than what's being reported.
Okay, very, very good. I'm looking at some of these numbers, and I just felt like it was going to be a day. And maybe I'll ask you, would we stay away from all the Christian McCaffrey props just because we don't know if he's going to play a lot or if he gets injured? Because they're here, receiving props 28.5. I've got another Christian McCaffrey at where is he at now? Well, that's the only one I see so far. But would we stay away, Alex?
So I tend to agree that there is a level of uncertainty here, but I agree with Mike in the sense that he is not going to be playing if they had any doubts about his health at being at or close or right at 100%. So yeah, I'm expecting him to play well. When he's on the field, he is one of the true difference makers at the running back position. So yeah, I would lean over on those, but I also do understand wanting to err cautiously, not knowing exactly how much he's going to play. But yeah, if you were asked my opinion, I would definitely lean over, and I definitely expect him to play a lot and play well.
Mikey.
Yeah, I would lean over. Again, it's something that you're not going to get the opportunity to invest in continuously. But if you're someone who has proper bankroll management and has the means to do it, I think it's a great spot. So the last time Christian McCaffrey was quote unquote limited, coming off of an absence like this, he had 28 touches, 151 yards, and 2 touchdowns, played almost 75% of the snaps in a game that he was supposed to be limited from the coaching staff. So just throwing that out there, that limited might not be 85% of the snaps. It might only be 75%. But I am in the camp that believes that if he is active, which he is, that they're not playing him unless he is ready to play football.
They have never once limited McCaffrey. I've seen that tag come into a game, and every single time he ends up with a large workload. So yeah, I 100% agree.
I've never understood, as a former athlete myself, if I was going to be ready for one of my college basketball games and I went out and play, it wasn't good to play 8 minutes. If I could put my sneakers on, I was going to play full, period. And I just don't, especially in NFL, you can't go out there and play half speed. You can't go out there and hope you only get hurt on half the plays. I don't understand that. But again, these very, 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 very valuable. Quick chat question coming back to you, AB, because you are the man of the hour. Too sweet to be sour when it comes to quarterback props. Over 1.5. Derek Carr in that Raiders game. You like the Raiders, but it's juiced to 175.
Oh, God, that's a lot of juice, especially on a quarterback prop to where he can run the ball in as well. It's too much juice for me. I think he likely hits that number, but I would hate to tell you to play that at that juice. Exactly. There's so many options that they have. Yeah, I wouldn't do it.
You're exactly right. That's the thing. Sometimes you look at him and go, damn, I love that play, but I'm not about to do it on a player prop. And we just saw it Monday with Mike White. 95 yards in the first quarter and then just tips his finger and he's out. It's very, very difficult when you got minus 175. We are less than 40 likes away from 400, where I will give away, courtesy of the bosses, 4 year-long memberships to SportsLine. Let's help change 4 lives. Let's pound that like button. Come on, we got plenty of people watching right now. All right, next game on the board. And AB, you're going to start this one because you have 2 official plays from it. And the Bills are going on the road. You have some amazing nuggets you gave out on the morning show that I want you to enlighten the good people watching right now. Jags at home, total 48.5, and they're getting over 2 touchdowns. AB, talk to me.
Yeah, so we got 2 plays here. Going with the Bills and the spread, also going with the Bills team total over 31.5. Look, you look at what Buffalo did last week against Miami. Yeah, Josh Allen's numbers weren't that great, but it's because Miami runs man defense 49% of the time, most of the NFL, and that's been the one thing that has kind of gotten to Josh Allen, if there's anything in the NFL that does. But you look at the Bills. They've scored 30-plus points in 7 straight regular season road games. Josh Allen is 77% against the spread on the road in his regular season career. The Jaguars are the worst team in the NFL in turnover margin, and the Bills are, just a paltry plus 50 points off turnovers this season, the best in the NFL. And I will give you this nugget, too. The Jaguars quietly are the second best team in the NFL at getting pressure on the opposing quarterback. The problem is that they're the worst in the NFL at bringing the quarterback down in terms of sacks. So when you have a quarterback like Josh Allen who can run as well, he is going to have ample opportunities to do so. Couple that with the Jaguars have put up a ton of turnovers this season. You're going to see a lot of short fields for Buffalo. Yeah, all over Buffalo with the spread and team total over 31.5.
Alex.
I have a play actually I want to give out on this game. I apologize for not mentioning it earlier. I'm going to go under on Trevor Lawrence, 225.5 passing yards. Shout out to my buddy Connor Allen who gave this play out. I absolutely love it. The Bills defense ranks first in pass DVOA. They are absolutely exceptional, and something that your Chiefs could take a page out of their notebook, Coach. They finish games. I'm sorry, Coach. I just had to bring it up. I'm sorry, Mikey. But yeah, this Bills team finishes games. When they have their foot on your throat, they step on it. So yeah, I think Trevor Lawrence is in a very, very tough spot versus a elite Bills secondary. Furthermore, his pass catchers are just miscast. Marvin Jones is not a number one receiver. Since they've moved Laviska Shenault from the slot to outside receiver, he looks completely lost. No James Robinson in this game, or at least he was questionable coming in. I think he's not expected to play. I'm not sure if he's been announced inactive or active, but I do not think that helps either way. He's going to be less than 100%. I think this Jaguars offense is going to struggle and struggle mightily, and I expect the Bills to finish them off. So yeah, I'm fading Trevor Lawrence under 225.5 passing yards. That's an official play for me.
Under 220. I got to make sure I get this in. So, all right, I have it at 222.5 at my book, so I like that. So I'm getting an extra yard of value before it changes.
Under, Coach.
Oh, no!
Under.
Oh, no! Well, that's okay. So what do we have to do? I'm just going to lose the juice. We go under, and I'll double it. That shows you right now. You always ask, what do I do if I need to cancel out a bet? I'm showing you right now. You just bet double, and I'm going to lose the juice. So it is what it is. But
hey, Coach.
Yeah,
can I say
AB.
one thing real quick off of what Alex was saying? To back up exactly what he's saying, he is 100% correct on Trevor Lawrence. When he's under pressure this season, he has a comp of 44% and twice as many interceptions as touchdown passes this season. Yeah, props he's spot on this one.
Thank you. Yeah, the number was 225.5 is what I saw on most books, by the way.
All right, very good. They are saying in some places there's 228, other places this one is it's kind of like a 7-yard window. It looks like
I'd play it down to 220.
All right, Pooh Bear, there you go. You got your question answered for you. Down to 220, courtesy of the Prop Stars. Awesome stuff. Okay, all right, let's move on now to our next game. We got several more to get to with a little under 20. We try to end it a little bit early so you have a chance to get all these plays in because I know it's a whole lot, and hopefully you're writing them down. We'll give you a full recap at the end of the show as well. Now, here's the last 1 o'clock game, guys. It's the Vikings and the Ravens. The Ravens are giving 6, the total at 50.5, and we've got a lot of plays on this game. First, the Maestro has 2. We're going to go Lamar Jackson over 59.5 rush yards at minus 114. He also liked Kirk Cousins in this game over 35.5 pass attempts at minus 115. Mikey, let me come to you. I know you and AB, you can piggyback here, but Mikey, I'll let you start. You both are on one side today. What is it?
Yeah, I'm on the Baltimore Ravens here. I played them minus 5.5 on Tuesday. Played them again this morning in a teaser with the Kansas City Chiefs. Going to be getting them out of Pick'em. Just love this team, and I can't stress enough how important it is that they haven't had to travel. They're so well rested. Easily the most well rested team in the NFL. Very, very fortunate scheduling. They've been at home for almost 6 weeks, basically. This is their 4th home game with a bye week in there. So it's 4 home games plus a bye week in a row. Rashad Bateman is active and healthy, ready to go. Lamar is ready to go here against this Vikings team. I think it's one of my favorite plays of the week. It should be closer to 7.5 on the closing spread.
Oh, I love hearing that because I already played the Ravens. AB, back him up.
Yep. I'm on the Ravens as well. And I'll tell you what, when you're watching this game, it is going to come down to the red zone. You can absolutely take that to the bank because the Ravens have scored 16 touchdowns on 22 red zone drives at 73% red zone efficiency this season. That's the 3rd best in the NFL. And on defense, the Vikings have allowed opponents to score 11 touchdowns on 16 red zone drives, which is 69%. That is the 8th worst in the NFL. So if you see early and often that Baltimore is getting to the red zone and punching in touchdowns, that's your key for a live bet that it's going to be a long day for Minnesota.
Wow, that's incredible information. Do we like Kirk Cousins 2 touchdowns? I don't have the juice. I would say lean away from that, Mikey. 2 touchdowns thrown today?
Yeah, I mean, I think he could definitely get there, but it's not something I'd be playing. It obviously depends on the juice and what the price on it is.
Yeah.
But not something I'd be super excited to invest in.
Tori, we love you too. I see you in the chat. Make sure you put that juice into the chat when you have a question, because that matters everything for what we would play and if we would stay away from it. All right, let's move on to the late games. And this is one, I'll be honest with you, I'm really looking forward to this game because I have no idea what's going to happen. I'm talking Chargers laying one on the road in Philadelphia, taking on the Eagles, a total at 49. And we've got a lot of plays in this game. Here's where we stand as a show on this game. Uncle Dave has 3 different plays from our prop show. He's heavily invested in this game. Dallas Goedert over 57.5 receiving yards. Boston Scott for Philly over 44.5 rush yards. And Jared Cook for the Chargers over 27.5 receiving yards. Mikey, I know you're on a side, and then Alex, I'll come to you. Which side do you like in this game, Mikey?
Yeah, I'm on the Chargers here. I played the -1 earlier this week. That's moved in the market to -2.5, back to -1.5. Might close at -1. Some very differing opinions on both sides. I will say the Eagles are a team that have been attracting sharp action for several weeks now. And that's kind of why you see it. Some of those groups are still betting on that side, but I make the Chargers -3 in this spot. I think they're the better team. They're well rested in a sense. Yes, it is a little bit of a travel spot, but I think that they're simply the better team. They have too many weapons, and I think they're going to find a way to get it done, as I think the Eagles, unfortunately, will end up shooting themselves in the foot like they typically do in these games. And it looks like it's almost a pick 'em now too, which is, like I said, every week for I think like the last 3.5 weeks or so, we've seen a lot of sharp buying on the Eagles, and I can't say that I agree with it in this particular spot.
All right. Well, I'm glad you don't, because I love the Chargers today too. In the chat, AB, there is a anytime touchdown from Jalen Hurts at +150. Quickly, your thoughts.
Yeah, you look at Jalen Hurts. Yeah, he leads the Eagles with 73 rushes, 432 rushing yards, and 5 rushing touchdowns. He's second among all QBs in rushes and rush yards. If anybody's going to score a touchdown, it's going to be Jalen Hurts.
But there's a guy that he's throwing it to today, Alex, that you don't think he will have a very good day. What's your official play from this game?
Yeah, so my official play is Devontae Smith under 57.5 receiving yards. Look, we have seen this Chargers defense. They are horrendous at stopping the run. They struggle covering tight ends, and they are elite at shutting down opposing wide receivers. They have limited opposing receivers to, I think, around 800 yards on the season, 116 yards per game. That is absolutely phenomenal. The secondary is great. Chris Harris Jr., Derwin James. They have a ton of depth. They are missing 2 corners today, but they have excellent depth behind Chris Harris and Derwin James. So yeah, this Chargers secondary is exceptional. They're very soft in the middle, both against running backs, which is why Dave likes Boston Scott, and also why Dallas Goedert is a popular pick, and his yards is steamed up into the mid-50s. So yeah, Devontae Smith, almost all of his production has come in either garbage time or it's come versus terrible secondaries or some combination of the two. The fact that this game is projected to be close tells me that, yeah, it's going to be very hard for him to eclipse this number. So in games that have been close, he's averaging around under 30 receiving yards per game. So yeah, I think fading Smith is a great spot. Furthermore, I would also say this Chargers team is a lot more talented, I hate to admit this, than my Philadelphia Eagles. I don't understand why the spread is 1 point. I do get that they're traveling from the West Coast to the East Coast, but I fully agree with what Mike was saying. This Chargers team is way more talented than this Eagles team. I expect the Eagles to get handled.
I think it's a recency bias. I mean, they just lose to the Patriots at home, and people aren't giving New England the credit that they deserve. I think that's why this number is the way that it is, and it's good for us. It's great for us. Real quick, Austin Eckler, 42.5 is his receiving number today. You want to take that one, Alex?
I do. So I have some interesting points on Eckler. Obviously, we love Austin Eckler. I think he's an absolutely exceptional receiver, very talented receiving running back. We see him just absolutely awesome out of the backfield. Now, the problem with Eckler is, and I've been riding him a lot this season, is the Chargers are choosing to deploy him primarily as a first and second down kind of thumper. They're not using him in the passing game nearly as much as they have in years past. I think that's a mistake on their part. I think he should be used primarily as a pass-catching running back because of the type of mismatches that he creates, because he's so difficult to cover out of the backfield, because he's such a fluid route runner. But the Chargers instead are deciding to mostly use him on first and second downs, and he is talented enough to be productive in that role, but he is not running enough routes to comfortably go over these numbers. He's certainly capable. I just wish that he was getting more work as a receiving running back out of the backfield. He's not getting enough presently for me to comfortably play the over.
All right, very good. Mikey, quick question from Vincent. Eckler or McCaffrey in fantasy today?
Eckler's a safe play. If you're talking DFS, though, I lean towards McCaffrey a little bit. I have equal exposure to both, but the ownership is significantly lower on Christian McCaffrey. So at similar price points and about 20% of the ownership overall, I think it's a really easy call to play McCaffrey for some upside in tournaments. But I would also say that you could get away with playing both of them pretty easily if it's a daily fantasy question. If it's a season-long fantasy question, I'd probably still play Eckler. Just it's a lot safer, and they're very similar.
All right. Very good. All right, moving on to our next game. So hopefully you guys are all enjoying this information, because this is the only place you'll get this much. You can throw anything at my guys, and they can answer everything, which is amazing to me. Now, this is a game that, man, I tell you what, I just don't know what's going to happen. I do know the Chiefs' defense stinks, but they're laying 7 because this number was at a pick'em. Then Aaron Rodgers, that whole thing with him happened this week, and now it's 7, the total of 48, the 425 kick. I can't wait for this one. Here's where we stand on the show. In fact, all 3 of my guys have a play on the show. So let me start with Mikey. Mikey, what do you like in this game? And I see an RAP next to it, so maybe it's not even possible now with Jordan Love.
Oh, it's possible. So I do have 2 plays actually in this game. One of them, I have the Chiefs in that teaser with the Ravens, so I need the Chiefs -1 in this one. But the other one here, I had the over in this game at 54.5. My simulations had this one all the way up over 56.5. I still have an edge on the over at the current number at 48. I don't have any edge on the original pick, so we're going to need some points to be able to get there for the original pick. But trend towards the over in this one. I think the Chiefs come out and do what they can. We say it all the time, but they cannot take their foot off the accelerator at all, and I don't think that they will in this spot. I think that this is a good spot for them to kind of run it up again at home. I'm very interested in Travis Kelce props. I'm electing to play them live today, though. I want to see his body language. I want to see him run a few routes early in this game. But if this game is in control, I still think the Chiefs throw the ball a little bit, and I think that they use it as some time to get back on the same page with Patrick Mahomes and Travis Kelce. So look for that. Look for that as an opportunity to live bet the props if you have sports books that let you do it. But I think the Chiefs should roll. I'm hoping we get at least 30 points from them. And I hope Jordan Love can find the end zone twice and keep this one competitive enough to get us enough points to hit the total.
I think that would be fun. I like that it's a 425 game, too. I can see how my early bets do. Maybe have a little bit of fun with this one. Now, AB, this is a perfect example of getting the bets in at the right time, but sometimes the early time isn't the right time. Explain that to everybody.
Yeah, you're exactly right. Obviously, we're called the early edge, but sometimes you might want to just wait a little bit, because I was an idiot and decided to bet the Packers plus 2.5 on Monday. That was a good call by me. But I'll say this. I'll give you some information in regards to how this game is going to go. Look, the Chiefs, you've seen their passing attack just atrocious the last 2 weeks. I'll tell you exactly why. The Titans and the Giants defensively both did the exact same thing. They gave the Chiefs the run knowing that they were too arrogant to consistently take it. And you saw against the Giants, every touchdown drive that they had was on the ground. And what did they do? They came back the next drive, pass, punt. So what you're going to see is Matt LaFleur, who's the head coach of the Packers, who was once under Mike Vrabel with Tennessee, do the exact same thing and try to get themselves an edge and give Kansas City the run. So Kansas City might rack up some nice rushing yardage early in this game. It depends on if they keep up with it or not. I'll tell you this, Green Bay is +8 in turnovers. Kansas City is -11. So just pay attention to that.
Oh, and our girl Kelsey, who's one of our MVPs, VIPs. Her best bet of the day is Patrick Mahomes. It hurts me, Kelsey, throwing at least one interception at +112. I like the number. He's thrown an interception literally every game, and he's taking too many chances. But you brought up running backs, which I knew you were going to do, because that leads us right into a play from Alex on a running back that you love. Alex, talk to me.
I do. It's Darrell Williams over 2.5 receptions. On a team that has been experiencing a lot of turmoil and things going wrong, Darrell Williams has been one of the pillars of consistency for the Chiefs since he's taken over for Clyde Edwards-Helaire. He's filled in very admirably. They're using him a lot out of the backfield as a pass catcher. I believe he has either 3 or 4 straight games with at least 3 receptions. Last week, he had 6 targets. He handled that for 6 catches. I expect his role to continue to be very secure as a pass catcher, despite the emergence of Derek Gore. Derek Gore, who handled 11 carries last week, didn't have 1 target in the passing game, so he is not going to be a threat to that passing game work or 2-minute drill work or hurry up work for Darrell Williams. So, if you can find him at 2.5 receptions, I think it might have moved. But, I still really like to play if you can get it at over 2.5 receptions.
All right, very good. Get that in. Also, look at those Travis Kelce numbers. I saw somebody in the chat say that his catching total is at 6.5 right now. Last week, Tyreek Hill had a lot of those little early ones, too. He had, I think, 9 or 10. So you may want to look at those as well. All right, we got 2 more plays and less than 10 minutes to get there. So let's quickly move to the Cardinals minus 3.5 at the 49ers. Also a late game today. The total sitting at 45. We have one person who's on this game. AB, what do you got?
Yeah, this is another one where I decided to jump it on Monday and the Cardinals minus 2.5. So, I don't know what. I woke up Monday feeling aggressive, but I'll say this. After talking and listening to M Squared throughout the week, and I'd love to hear his thoughts on it, while he's not Kyler Murray, Colt McCoy's not terrible per se. The tough part is that this is a division game, and the 49ers really, really need to get this win. So I'd love to hear Mike's thoughts on Colt McCoy, what to expect out of it. But, I'm on Arizona minus 2.5. That's all I can do is just hold on to this rope. That's just ride it.
Mikey?
Yeah, so, I think that there might be a tiny bit of value on the Cardinals now at the new number at +4, especially as we get closer to lock. I wouldn't play it now. I would wait until we have confirmation on everything as inactives come out later, because there's still a number of players who should be considered highly questionable for the 49ers. But if you can get this number at even +5 for the Cardinals with McCoy, I think that there is a little bit of value to it. Look, we know Hopkins is likely out in this one. What to expect from McCoy is you should expect a lot of Chase Edmonds, a little bit of James Conner, but a lot of Chase Edmonds running the ball and dumping passes to him, a lot more Rondale Moore. They're going to look to get the ball out quickly, short passes, very low average depth of target in this one. The good news is these 2 players can take one to the house literally anytime they touch the football. They're very electric players. I like both of them. I have no play on the game. If you wanted to play it, I would consider playing on the Arizona side once it gets above 4.5. I also think it's a decent game for one of the same game teasers or same game parlays that we like to play. So what I would do there, the total now has dropped all the way to 44.5. Cardinals are +4. I would tease the Cardinals to like +10, bring that 44.5 down to 38.5, play the over on that. And then you can start looking at some of the alternate lines on Chase Edmonds numbers, alternate lines on Rondale Moore numbers. And you're going to be able to build a little same game parlay that'll play +400 or so in this spot. Just make sure you're getting Cardinals +10 and get that total down to at least 38.5 and then take it over that number.
Absolutely love it. So very quickly, Alex, he mentioned Rondale Moore. His receiving totals 40.5. Don't have the juice on that. Quickly, would you like that?
It hinges on whether or not DeAndre Hopkins is active or inactive. If he's inactive, then I like it. If Hopkins plays, I don't like it as much.
Okay, very good. All right, very, very quickly, got to get to one more game and then the recap because we are up against it. So Sunday Night Football, and again, we'll get into this entire game tonight, but just want the initial plays. Titans, Rams, -7.5, total of 52.5. Mikey, you go first.
Yeah, this one's tough. I would lean with the Titans. Anytime you're getting more than a touchdown in this game, I'll definitely have the same game parlay for you. But the only play that I had is I took the under in it. I have a pretty considerable edge on the under. I think the Titans come out. The good news is they got Adrian Peterson. They're going to hand the ball off. They're going to eat some clock. Sean McVay, Say what you want about him. He's been great. They have obviously a better quarterback situation this year, but he's actually still quite conservative in a lot of these games. And I expect that to continue here. I expect it to help our cause with the under. So this is one that I like, the primetime under here, under 53.5. I'm not sure where it is in the market now, but my simulations have this thing all the way down to 50. So I'm pretty sure we're going to have a meaningful edge on that number, no matter where it closes.
All right, very good. All right, AB, quickly, I know you have a play on this game as well.
Yep, I'm on the Rams -6.5. Luckily, did get in on this one early, but I'll say this. I love that underplay from M squared. Look, Todd Downing, the Titans offensive coordinator, is going to have some drives where he has to figure this offense out. Derrick Henry was their offense. So expect maybe one or two more punts out of the Titans, and he's exactly right. Sean McVay is a much more conservative coach than people give him credit for. The under is a pretty smart play, and I bet people bet the over all the way up through the day, so you might want to just pay attention to that. But yeah, smart play by M squared.
All right, very good. We will dive much more into this game tonight for a full hour on Early Edge Live. I have a very quick message I need to convey from the man who runs this entire brand. Jeweler, can you jump in real quick? All right, we are very close to a milestone. Talk to me and the people quickly.
So I got a note from the bosses, okay? If we get to 19,100 subscribers by the end of the Sunday Night Football stream tonight,
okay,
I'm going to personally endorse with my corporate card 10 free SportsLine subs and a free Early Edge t-shirt to one person who's watching tonight.
What? All right.
19,100. You got about 100 more to go, plus some 125 to go. So let's do it.
All right. If you're not a subscriber yet, it's free. Do it now. Tonight, we will change 10 lives, but only if we get to 19,100 and a very elusive Early Edge t-shirt as well. All right, we're up against it. Grab your paper, grab your pencil. Quickly, here is the four winners also. At Johnny G8123, at C2_0208, at Crazy_Carl B, and at our Aces, the Jeweler. No worries. We'll reach out to you on social media. You have a year-long membership. Here is our recap. Soak it all in. Get in the plays very, very quickly. Some of those are late, too. I like to end the show with our guys giving 20 to 30-second takes on whatever they're looking forward to the most. Mikey, start us off, please.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to the Chiefs game. Obviously, I want to see how they handle this Jordan Love situation. I'm looking forward to the Eagles and Chargers game. Very fascinated by the way the betting market has been moving, especially here on game day. So those are going to be the two games that I have the most attention on today.
Alex?
Yeah, I'm very much looking forward to this slate. I think it's awesome. Love all the props we've got. I'm very much as well looking forward to that Eagles-Chargers game. Should be very interesting. And, yeah, can't wait.
AB, bring us home.
If Rich Bisaccia leads the Raiders, to a win today and gets them through a second huge controversy in 3 weeks, I think you just found their next head coach.
All right, there you go. All right, that's all the damage that we can do. Hopefully you got all of these plays in, the ones that were close, and you use the information to your advantage throughout the day. We have so much fun. We couldn't do it without you, so thank you all very much. And congratulations to all of you who are the newest members of SportsLine. So there's only one thing left to do, and you all know what that is. You've got your marching orders. Let's take all of these Sunday NFL football tickets straight to the pay window. For our entire team, M Squared, AB, the maestro who weighed in today. So we got a little surprise for you coming up tonight. It's his birthday, by the way. Happy birthday. Shout out to the maestro. And also for the Jeweler, Alex, Prop Stars, everybody. I'm the coach. Good luck today. Let's cash these tickets. We'll see you tonight at 7:20 Eastern Time, counting down to Sunday Night Football. This is the Early Edge. Good luck.